Hey y'all, it's my review for SWV Xscape, the Queens of R&B. We are finally at the season finale, episode 6. This will be a one and done series. I would say thanks to Xscape, SWV no longer wants anything to do with reality television. And I don't blame them. But, you know, this has been a great show. It's just unfortunate that it turned adversarial, and I wish things turned out better. Let's see how this concert played out. I can't wait. We left off on a cliffhanger of all the ladies confronting Latasha the problem, as well as her cheating, trifling ass husband for getting kickbacks. Now, before we get into the episode, I do want to shout out Candy, who I heard last night featured me as well as many other black YouTubers on Speak On It. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the love that Candy has always given to the black content creators. She always has. And, you know, even though I do be having an opinion sometimes, you know, it's all love. You know, I will always give Candy, like, her props because she walks the walk, definitely. So shout out to her. I'm sure Candy's Speak On is going to continue because, you know, right after this, we have Real Housewives of Atlanta coming up, and I'll be reviewing that, of course. Can't wait for that. I think that's going to be May 7th. I'm just wondering now, since it's over, that what are we going to do on Black Bravo Sunday nights for 3 weeks? They could have had a behind the scenes episode. I'm sure they have a lot of lost footage they haven't used. A reunion, SWV and Xscape together, like after all this. They could have came together, reconciled, and hashed things out, or not. But yeah, anywho, with that said, let's get into the episode. So like I said earlier, we left off on a cliffhanger from last week of Xscape confronting Latasha about her husband getting kickbacks from the promoter. So, you know, she's trying to play stupid or whatever, or y'all gonna believe this pieces of paper just because they printed them out. So, you know, she's sitting there looking at these pieces of paper. Y'all believe this? Trying to play dumb. So then she gets her husband on the phone, and of course he denies it. Like, what was he gonna do? Like, oh yeah, that was me talking to the promoter. When he's confronted with the text messages, all he has to say is, me and him got the same text messages on our phone. Okay, so you admit that that was you. So what's going on then? He said, oh, well, that had nothing to do with Xscape. Sir, they have the text messages. Like, they need to just bring them to court. They're giving them too much grace at this point. And I'm sure Candy has the finances to sue Latasha and her husband for fun. We cut to Tamika's confessional, and she's saying ever since her sister met her husband Rocky, she's been different. Basically saying that she's brainwashed. And here go these two thieves in their confessional, and Rocky's saying that kickbacks are for people that need to hustle. I ain't gotta hustle. You put a top hat on him, he looks like that villain from The Princess and the Frog. Latasha interjects that there's been other occasions where other group members, they do their deals with promoters and they get a percentage themselves. So it looks like she's not denying what they did. And then he chimes in making it worse, saying, I don't do kickbacks. I don't get kickbacks. I get money from what I owe. I do the deals. Somebody get this ninja out of here. Y'all know what I want to say. It's a shame her husband's gonna be her downfall. At this point, Candy, Tiny, and Tamika, I would have been done with talking. I would have kicked her ass out the group, then filed a lawsuit against her and her husband. So after she got off the phone with her creep husband, it is silent. The mood is awkward. Candy is like, listen, I get you want to go to bat for your man. My man, my man. But you got to call out things when it's wrong. She has nothing to say. Like, Latasha's like, So here she go again, ready to leave in that Moo Kitty outfit. She grabbed her tired YSL bag on her shoulder and she leaves in a huff. We see as she's leaving, she calls her mom on the phone and complains about her group members coming at her again for calling her ass out, rightfully. Kick her out the group. So next thing we found out, there's only 2 days before the show, the ladies are packing, and y'all, I swear to God, like from the beginning of this episode to now, I thought they were performing in Ontario, Canada. Not Ontario, California. Am I the only one who thought that? I'm actually familiar with Ontario, California because my cousin lives there. But I'm just wondering, why that city? Maybe the venue was cheaper? But anyway, we're with Tamika packing and we found out that all 4 Xscape members will be there. But it might be a little awkward because Latasha and Rocky will be there. And I think it's the first time they've seen each other face to face since the accusation. So yeah, we're checking in with every member as they're packing. Like, we're with Coco, she's talking to her son. She's not looking forward to this show, and her son says, like, just keep your hands to yourself. He know his mom. We're then with Tiny talking to her daughter, and we find out from a flashback that both groups are going to be on stage together. And SWV, they caved in and they're gonna let Xscape do understanding before the closing. SWV was like, if it make you feel better. So at least they're moving forward. I'm also sure everyone was contractually obligated to do this show, so they had to come to an agreement. Damn, is anybody looking forward to the show? This was definitely a mistake. So now we're with Tasha and her husband on the way to the airport. She's complaining to him about being involved in the drama. She don't do drama, but yet she's the problem. All I'm saying is you can't have drama without a problem. So both groups arrive in Cali. SWV, they're all in a van together. They're a unit. We're with Xscape in their van. Latasha isn't there. She's actually staying in a different hotel than her group. Like, this is what I've been saying. Like, they're worried about making deals, headlining, and set lists when their group is in total disarray. Like, fixing the dysfunction in their group should be top priority to them. So now Xscape only worried about putting everything to the side and just making sure they have a good show and nobody walk off. We're back with SWV, and Coco says that she's a little nervous because clearly they need more rehearsing since it's an integrated show. Hopefully they can fix all this. We see flashbacks of them all rehearsing together. Not sure why they made those flashbacks because I would have loved to see that. We see flashbacks of all of them rehearsing, and I wish they would have actually made these scenes. It would have been interesting to see. So next scene we're with Latasha and Rocky again for the third time in 15 minutes. She's saying that she's not happy with how things are going. I mean, what else is new? She's unhappy. We cut to their confessional as producers asking them about both accusations, and he's saying it's not true. They can't prove it. Bring them to court so they can prove it. Like, he's even like stumbling over his words. He's saying, well, I don't know how to cash somebody's royalty check. You have to get their social security number, you gotta forge their signature, but I don't know anything about that. Right. Sure, Jan. So next scene with SWV is they're doing their first on-stage rehearsal at the venue. They have 8 hours to finish learning the choreo, the transitions, etc. Again, I'm telling myself it's just one show for them. I think they can do it. So we see Xscape walking in and Tiny go, ooh, what's going on? So now they need Xscape on stage to practice the transitions, but the problem is that all of Xscape isn't there. So we see Latasha as she's on her way to the venue. So we see Xscape, the trio already started rehearsing on stage, and here go Latasha rolling in with the entourage. Like, I don't know who Latasha thinks she is. She's not Beyonce. She's not even Chloe. She needs to humble herself walking in with this entourage. It's ridiculous. And we even see Lily look into the camera and laugh as Latasha rolls in 9 or 10 deep as the rest of her group members are on stage rehearsing. So as the rehearsal continues, we see Xscape is taking a long time, I'm guessing, to get the steps. You got their own choreographer kind of yelling at them. Like, we see SWV's people telling the creative director, like, we got to keep it going. We cut to Taj's confessional. She's basically saying that Xscape is messing up a lot, and SWV, they have their routine together. So if Xscape mess up, it's on them. As this rehearsal is going on, everyone looks frustrated. This reminds me of when I was in college and doing like a group project assignment where like we were all just going back and forth to the point where we just wanted to get this presentation out and we never speak to each other again. That's what this is like. So now we see there's friction with the song choices and when they want SWV and Xscape out at the same time. Coco seemed like she is not with it. She has had it. Looks like she's just ready to fight right now. She has no more medication left. Look, I get it. It's hard on everybody. And Xscape, to their credit, they're just sitting on ready. Look like they're waiting for something to pop off. I'm glad, to everyone's relief that there were no physical altercations during this. I don't even think the ladies cussed each other out. Well, we only got 30 minutes left, so we'll see if that happened, but hopefully not. But speaking of cussing people out, we see Taj talking to Xscape about like the transition, like they're gonna talk about female empowerment, then go into the next song. We then hear somebody say, that sounds corny. That's Don Juan, Donna had to speak his mind. And Taj is like, hold up, you ain't talking to me any kind of, who said that? Who said that? The creative director's like, Don Juan. So Taj kind of checks Don Juan, then tells him shut the fuck up. Now I'm not sure if production added that in for effect, but he definitely needed to be told shut the fuck up. The only people that should be addressing SWV is the creative director, their management, and Xscape. That's it. We don't need the candy-coated clique inserting their opinions on Candy's behalf. And here go Coco, y'all be thinking it's me. Look, if they got Taj popping off on people, the Peacemaker, the Kumbaya one, then it's definitely a frustrating situation. So next scene is the day of the show. Most of the ladies are arriving to the venue. But with Tamika and Candy's telling her, you know this is the last time Xscape's gonna be performing as a foursome, right? And I don't blame her. So a little bit later on, we see Latasha entering in with her entourage. She passing by her member's room, but she's like, hi. They're just rolling their eyes at her. I mean, especially Candy, the one who's like the biggest boss bitch there, and she has a smaller entourage than Latasha. We cut to Latasha's confessional. She's like, the people that are traveling with me, they're my team. I have my chef, I have my wardrobe and makeup, my stylist. I mean, I guess she has the money to pay for all these people since she's stealing from her sister and her group members. Allegedly. So then we see Tiny arrive, and she only arrives with one person, and we know Tiny got coin, so it just says a lot that Latasha's the only one rolling in with 10 people. She's also sharing a room with Latasha since she's the only one that gets along with her. Now, before we move on, can we just take a second to see what Tiny's wearing right now? Like, this looks a hot mess for stage wear. They could have called Angel Brinks in for this. She had so much to say in the last episode about SWV's style when she's wearing this. She should be ashamed of herself. Also this week, I'm sure you saw the pictures of SWV shutting it down with the fashion. So I don't want to hear nothing about no overalls and flats. Alright, so the episode fast forwards to later in the evening. The fans are arriving. The show's about to start. I'm looking at the demographic and it's a lot of aunties in the crowd. It's very Essence Music Fest. But yeah, if I know SWV and Xscape was performing together, I would have won. Child, the mood across both groups is let's just get this shit over with. Alright, so all the ladies about to get on stage. The crowd is hyped. The DJ is announcing them. So SWV opens the show with Anything. They killing it. I love the old school remix of Anything. That is my jam. Like, all they're missing now is just Method Man Fine Ass coming out to rap. So then afterward, Xscape comes out with their up-tempo number. It's Always on My Mind. It's a song that I must admit that I'm not too familiar with. They're doing a good job though. Okay, so we see Xscape with Who Can I Run To? I think that is my favorite Xscape song. They really do look like hood cabaret dancers. SWV with the next hit, You're the One for Me. I do commend both groups for at least pretending for the audience to like each other for this show. I mean, hell, Xscape is pretending to like each other for the audience. So for the next number, we see Xscape and SWV on stage at the same time. I also forgot to mention, I was wondering, what does Coco and them like have against like we don't do gospel? Because I remember Coco's background and why she didn't want to do Downtown and Can We anymore. Maybe I missed it. But anyway, they're performing Is My Lovin' in Vain? Alex's favorite song. No, of course not. It's funny how Latasha's so excited in her confessional talking about the show when we all know it's her last time performing in Xscape. Okay, so we're moving along now, and unfortunately, they're giving us the edited version of the show. Like, I really need to find the set list for this. I'm just curious to see what songs they all sang. But now they're on week, which means we're almost at the end of the show. We then see the entire crowd get on their feet to get ready to sing with Coco because we all know this song. It is a worldwide hit. Candy. Time after time I try to fight it. Sing it, Coco. No way can I deny it. Your love so sweet knocks me off my feet. Honestly, Coco don't even have to sing the song. All she had to do is just put the mic in the crowd. Damn, they could have showed Coco hit the note or something. And I agree with Coco. She's like, y'all see that crowd? We should have went last. I mean, it's fine. I mean, the song did what it did. So then Xscape comes out and they sing their number 8 hit, Understanding, for the crowd. Everyone's still into it. What I need from you is understanding. Did I get that note? Okay, as I'm looking at Xscape performing Understanding, I'm noticing they're getting a very favorable edit by production. Like, they're going off on their climax. You know, Candy's like, like, she's going off. It's just like with SWV, like, we're not hearing any of their songs' climaxes. We can't see Coco go off, and y'all know Coco be going off. So I'm just like, production. So after understanding, the ladies from SWV come out. They're all like taking a bow. Looks like the show was a success. The audience couldn't tell at all that they can't stand each other. Wow, so after the show, we see both groups together. They're laughing. I mean, this is what we all wanted to see, like togetherness, but they definitely came through. They gave a great show. So then Taj is like, now wasn't it worth it? And we see Coco's face. Thankfully, the other lady said, yes, it was all worth it in the end. And then Taj asked, would y'all do it again? And I think Taj being messy because she's the main one who said she would never do this again. But Candy said she'd do it again. I think some other members of Xscape. Coco's like, really? Now, I do think they're all being nice to each other in this moment because they're coming down from adrenaline from just performing on stage. So, of course, everyone's in a good mood. But the next scene, we're with the two sisters from Xscape, and they finally get to talk to each other one-on-one. No husbands present, no other group members, no entourage, just them two. And of course, Latasha, she don't feel like talking, but it looked like Tamika, she has something to get off her mind. Tamika looked like she wants to know from her sister, like, where do we go from here? Because we just had a great show, but I know when we go home, we're not going to speak to each other and things are just going to go back to how they were. Tasha says she doesn't want to be around negativity and chaos when she herself is the problem and why her group is in such dysfunction. Tamika's calling her sister out on a lot of things, but of course, Latasha the problem isn't taking accountability to nothing. Side note, I bet Latasha can't wait to take that corset off because her titties are sitting right at her chin. So of course Latasha tries to leave and then Tamika says, where are we as sisters? And Latasha points at the cameras, that's where we are. That's where we are. And she walks away. Damn, so then their argument spills outside in front of everybody. They're yelling at each other from two different sides of the hallway. And then Tamika calls her out for her entourage. And then Latasha says, well, they treat me better than you do. Ooh. She then tells her, tell mama to get a room in her house for you because you're going to be broke. I believe that. It sucks their night had to end like that. In this moment, Tamika looked like she is done with her sister. I mean, it looked like Xscape is done with Latasha. So then we see Tamika after this argument. She's very upset. She's venting. And when she starts to cry, Candy goes over to comfort her. Latasha, I mean, we cut to her confessional. She's saying she wants her sister back. This isn't, who she knows. Like, she is completely brainwashed. She does not see herself as the problem. And that right there is the problem. So then we get to, we have title cards for this season. It says, Tamika and Tasha have not spoken since the SWV Xscape concert. Child, it's going to do worse than Chloe's album. It probably won't even make the Billboard 200. So then now we're with SWV, and then their management presents to them as a surprise that their hit Week has now gone 3 times platinum, and they're presenting them the plaques. They're all celebrating. And then we cut to their title card that says, while the tour with SWV and Xscape is pending, SWV has officially booked the summer tour with Jodeci, as well as Drew Hill, because I looked it up. I will definitely be there to support the ladies. I do like Jodeci, and I love Drew Hill. So, I mean, they're in my top 5 guy groups. So congratulations to them. Unfortunately, Xscape and them couldn't get it together, but hey, that's just how shit works sometimes. They then let us know that Xscape is now performing as a trio. So then there's more, y'all. They're telling us that Xscape received the Soul Train Lady of Soul Award in November 2022. I totally forgot that this happened after they filmed the SWV reality show, and they had this whole wardrobe issue that was on the Shade Room. I mean, of course Latasha was the problem. We then cut to Xscape the trio in a group hug, and Candy's saying, when Latasha wants to come back and be a foursome with Xscape, she'll be welcome because we're a family. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but that is where the episode ends and the season. We are not getting a season 2, y'all. We are not. Not only did SWV say they're not doing reality TV again, I just don't think it's a good idea in general, and it's not a good look for both groups to be fighting with each other. Now, with that said, did I enjoy the season? I did enjoy the season. I'm glad it was only 6 episodes. Watching the show, it really did wake up my nostalgia and love for both groups, as well as me getting to know SWV more behind the scenes, because I wasn't really familiar with their first few reality shows when they hated each other. I'm glad I was introduced to them after the storm. Now, the letter grade I would give the season, I'd give it a B. I knocked it down a letter grade because after episode 3, that is when it became adversarial, the fights, the negativity, more Latasha, the problem, and her husband. Like, it just wasn't like a joy to watch, but it was just kind of like a messy train wreck a little bit. And it sucked that SWV was a part of it. I feel like Xscape, they're always going to be dramatic. But it looked like the negativity surrounding the group, no shade, it just felt like it sucked in SWV as well. And it wasn't that big of a pleasure to watch, but I was still entertained. But yeah, I'd love to hear what y'all thought of this season. I know y'all are so glad that after today, like the Xscape versus SWV, like the fan war, it is over. Hopefully the blogs that are covering the Xscape drama, they can finally rest. But with that said, it was a decent show and we were all entertained. Anywho, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Bye.